I think psychedelics are very important in this. In particular, a study that came out in 2012 from London showing that people on psilocybin, the more powerful and robust and ultra-real and alive the psychedelic experience, the more their physical brain actually shuts down. If you use functional MRI and magnetoencephalography, there have been multiple studies since then in Brazil and other studies in London confirming that for other psychedelics. It's profound, but it shows us that our consciousness is not created by the brain at all.
In today's video, I'm going to be introducing and featuring a piece of research dealing with near-death experiences. Overall, the overarching theme that I want to talk about here is that near-death experiences are not going anywhere. There are tons of research coming forward. There's a lot of research that was previously already there that I was ignoring, and that a lot of people are ignoring. But it's all there, and the previous counter-arguments dealing with hypoxia and how the brain is doing the lateral cleansing, accessing to the memories, which we don't really know where they are, and scientists say they're not really in the brain. They are completely unfounded. They have no weight at all in 2024. Instead, we have scientific consensus statements for the future research of near-death experiences. So in this video, I deal with all of that. I deal with the brain filter theory. I deal with some other things. And the interesting part about this specific research is that it's based upon the near-death experience of Dr. Eben Alexander. Dr. Eben Alexander has one of the most high-profile near-death experiences with a lot of items that are really interesting, mainly dealing with the fact that he is a neurosurgeon who knows exactly how he couldn't have had a conscious experience, and he comes back saying that it is not a hallucination, and as many NDEers now, his life's mission is to share these message that he learned through his NDE. So he talks about his near-death experience along with his psychedelic experience. I didn't know this before, but it seems that Dr. Eben Alexander, in his effort to understand more about altered states of consciousness, he went through a psychedelic experience, and they are comparing his experiences in a standardized scientific manner, and it is published on a scientific journal. So this is the overall arcing theme that I want to put forward here, dealing with their experiences, is that they are going into scientific journals. And in this specific one, we have themes of mystical experiences, quote-unquote cosmic love, orbs, light, all the items of near-death experiences published in a peer-reviewed scientific journal. So, without further ado, let's just go get into it. Before I move forward, I would like to remind you that if you want to join the growing discussion on consciousness and would like to be notified on the latest scientific discoveries and theories surrounding this topic and how they connect to ancient mythologies and philosophies, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, as I'll try to upload at least one video per week as I continue with the outline. Alright, so in today's video I'm going to be talking about this research published in Frontiers in Psychology in June 2023. This was published after I took my break from reviewing research and making YouTube content. I hadn't seen this before, and it's very interesting. This is Your Brain Undead, a comparative analysis of a near-death experience and subsequent 5-methoxy DMT experience. As always, I'm going to be linking this piece of research below. You can find everything, all the research attached. Mainly what they're doing here is they're comparing the near-death experience with the psychedelic experience, the DMT experience, the psychedelic breakthrough. As I've already addressed this in other videos. There's already a lot of research about this. I'm gonna link everything pertinent below. Basically what they're doing is correlating these items, but the interesting thing about this specific research is that it is the Imperial College London. They are looking into this topic very diligently. So what's really interesting about this research is that, as it says here, this article presents a case study of an individual who is popularly documented to have had a profound near-death experience while in a coma caused by bacterial meningoencephalitis. Additionally, the individual also subsequently underwent an experience with 5-MeO-DMT. Now, this popularly documented NDE, this individual, is Dr. Eben Alexander. Now, a lot of people might be familiar with the near-death experience of Dr. Eben Alexander, and the main reason why, there's quite a few reasons why his near-death experience is so popular. One of the main reasons is that he was a neurosurgeon. He was an expert in the fields, and he used to be an atheist. Sometimes he explained he wasn't very religious, he was more scientific-oriented man. So the way he explains his NDE, he correlates his medical history to it, and he explains that he shouldn't have had any sort of structured, conscious, not even a conscious experience at all, given the specifics of his case, and his brain was almost completely shut down. He couldn't have had a conscious experience. So we have all these thumbnails saying Dr. proves NDEs are real. Atheist neurosurgeon has near-death experience, transforms overnight. He believes as many NDEs. He comes back with a mission to tell the story, to tell the truth, to share a message, and it's basically the same as other near-death experiences. There's this cosmic love, there is this supernatural thing happening beyond our material world, beyond our earthly experience. There is so much more, and he went through different layers of what he calls quote-unquote heaven. I got to know everything in this thumbnail, it says. So he was shown these things, he was, as many near-death experiencers, he was taught, he was told by entities, by beings, what's happening, what's going on, and so on and so forth. So it is a very interesting NDE. I'm probably going to be looking into the actual NDE because there's a lot of videos. Otherwise, just go and watch one of the videos. There's a lot of videos about his near-death experience. He went with Oprah. He's in the mainstream. So it's a very notorious NDE. At the same time, there was a lot of skepticism after he published his book by the scientific community, saying that it was the hallucination, it was hypoxia, and so on and so forth. He only wanted to make money because he went so viral, he became a bit of a celebrity. But all of these counter arguments saying it was a hallucination and that it couldn't have been because the materialist thought that consciousness emanates from the brain, so if the brain is not active, he couldn't have had this experience. But this is all of this, and the reason why I'm getting back to making these videos and going into the research is because what I've noticed is in the last 5 years, all of these counter arguments for near-death experiences, they're gone. They're out of the question. Hypoxia and hallucination, they're out of the question. As I said, I made that other video talking about the scientific consensus statement for the future research of NDEs, where it says that there's hundreds of millions of near-death experiences, everything coming with the same. I've gone into a lot of research. One of the reasons why I'm coming back to making these videos is because I realized I'm never gonna stop. I'm never gonna finish going into the research. There's so much research and everything is stacking up talking about near-death experiences, and now we are starting to catalog the items of near-death experiences and what's happening in the brain and so on and so forth. So everything is adding up towards the same story. It's extremely interesting and extremely exciting where we are going with this topic. So in any case, one thing that I didn't know about Dr. Eben Alexander is that after he had his near-death experience, he underwent an experience with 5-MeO-DMT. So after he has his NDE, he focused his life on sharing the message and on trying to find out more about NDEs and the further nature of reality. And I guess he went through a psychedelic experience here. And this is full-on research based on his of a comparative analysis between his NDE and his DMT experience. So there's a lot of things here that I'm gonna be going into. Okay, so something that is very interesting to me is that all of this is done in a very standardized manner. This is scientific research published in a scientific journal, Frontiers in Psychology. This is 2023, just 1 year ago from making this video in 2024. All of this research is very, very recent, so it hasn't gotten to the mainstream. It's just coming out, and it is peer reviewed. I don't know if it can be seen in the video because sometimes I cut the scene, but this is peer reviewed by some other scholars from different countries, and so this is structured research of NDEs and overall supernatural phenomena, what I call supernatural phenomena. This is why this whole project is called a rational divine outline, because we're talking about this more supernatural, more strange, weird, esoteric, the concept of quote unquote divinity. We're looking at all of this in a rational manner, in a scientific, through a scientific scope. So I'm going to be doing this a lot, going into the research on these things. So, for example, here it says the results, characteristics such as entering other worlds, meeting menacing or benevolent entities, experiencing synesthesia, perinatal regression, and lucid dream-like properties. So this item here of perinatal regression is it talks a little bit, I think, about the pre-mortal experiences, and some people come with, when they have NDEs or other altered states of consciousness, they go into a place before they were born, or the in-between of life, what they call the bardos in the Tibetan lingo. So the same items that we see in altered states of consciousness, ego dissolution, transcendence of time and space, so on and so forth. The thing about the DMT experience and the NDE is that there's a few unique themes to the near-death experience: the life review, the deceased, and the threshold. I speak about this threshold before, where people say that they feel like if they cross a lake, or if they cross a bridge, or if they go through a door or something of that nature, they know that there is no point of no return, because they create these scenes and these landscapes which are vibrating with light, which are they think they are heaven, and there is this celestial music playing, and they see angels, and everything is vibrating with light. There's a lot of ways in which people describe these scenes. It's very interesting, but they know, and they explain their experiences. They know that if they cross something, there's no point in going back. Sometimes the beings around and tell them, this is your choice. If you cross, you're not coming back. So this is something that does not happen in the psychedelic experience. The psychedelic experience is a little bit different than that. This very item is very interesting because it means that there is structure to dying. What I mean about that is that there is a specific set of items that occur while dying. So somebody thought about this process of dying. And so one of the arguments that I make is, why does the brain create all of this? Why does the brain cares about morality, about what you did to other people? Why would it hallucinate or recreate this? Of course, all of this research, and even Dr. Eben Alexander speaks about this, and this is what's the most important thing right now, I think. And this is gonna be my first book that I'm gonna it's gonna be my second book, but the first one that I'm gonna publish after I've taken a break. It's gonna be to prove that consciousness does not exist in the brain. It is somewhere else. The brain is merely is what is called the filter theory, or the brain filter theory, which suggests that the brain is merely a filter for consciousness, not the originator of consciousness as traditional materialism would think. There's no proof of that, and there's a lot of new research that is proving opposite of that materialistic worldview point of view. I mean, consciousness emanates from somewhere else, and our brains are merely like radio transmitters, like tools to figure this out. So I have a lot of research that I'm gonna be publishing in this book, and I'm gonna be reviewing all of this. But basically, this seems to be what's happening. And so the psychedelic experience, both the psychedelic experience and the near-death experience, is part of whatever consciousness is, or the information of consciousness is going outside of the brain. And this is why people have the out-of-body experience, going outside somewhere in a hologram, if you may, in the whole larger reality, in the whole connectedness of everything. It's going outside of the body and having these experiences. So as I said, this is a 54-year-old Caucasian man from North America. This talks about Eben Alexander, and it talks. The interesting part about this as well is that it was a clinically documented experience, and there is some other reason. I'm going to link it as well. Full neurological recovery from. I cannot pronounce this right now. It's the actual medical term for what Eben Alexander, his illness, and it says here, in published research again associated with near-death experience. And in his talks, in his YouTube videos, Eben Alexander talks about this, that some of the people who were reviewing his case, experts in the field, acknowledge that his near-death experience had something to do with his recovery, because as it says here, during his 8-day hospitalization, his mental status fluctuated, from confused to non-responsive, with GCS scores between 6 and 11. This is about consciousness scores. Dr. Eben Alexander explained this a lot. So basically, the recovery rate from this illness is very low. It was very hard to come back from what he had without any deficits, but they acknowledge that due to the near-death experience, something happens. And there is a lot of research as well, which I'm going to be going into, about these spontaneous recoveries after near-death experiences, which is going back into the idea that consciousness, and let's call it quote-unquote spirit, is more important, is more influential than the physical reality, which might be an illusion, which might be just bits of information based on this larger consciousness. So it says here, this case highlights the importance of studying near-death experiences occurring during compromised brain function to further our understanding of the brain and consciousness. So this is the scientific fields again, the medical experts going into scientific journals, talking about the importance of near-death experience. As I said, the hypoxia, the hallucination arguments are buried back in 2013. This is 2024, and we got a lot of studies about this. Talks about a little bit of the DMT, how there are some studies saying that it's present within the human urine, blood, cerebrospinal fluid, and so on and so forth. All the research is here. If you really want to go deep into it, all of the research is here for you to look into. But yeah, this is a really interesting research saying that this is the most significant experience that he had. I don't know if he's talking about his DMT experience, because of course his near-death experience was very significant to him, but I think he's equating the psychedelic experience as also very significant. So it talks a little bit about the analysis and how they put in all the information together. As I said, this is scientific research. It is very interesting. As a bit of an update, as I said, I'm going to be publishing my second book, and it's going to have to do with the brain filter theory. Everything is going to be below. It is an extremely exciting time for what's coming. We are at the brink of science and scientific research relating to what they're calling, and I highlighted somewhere around here, saying, right here it is, such mystical experiences from 5-MeO, meaningfulness, spirituality, well-being, and later on it talks about cosmic love. So they go into the whole comparing the experiences, going to the NDE and the psychedelic experience, and they analyze it, and then they put quotes of the actual words of the interviewee, Dr. Eben Alexander, becoming one with that love force, light brighter than a million stars. So it talks about cosmic love, it talks about orbs, it talks about all of these supernatural, quote-unquote, mystical items in scientific research. This is extremely interesting. Everything is talking about the same. I'm gonna get back into this project. And I'm really excited about the future of this research and the future of the upcoming consciousness revolution. Thanks so much for watching, and maybe I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching this video. If you find value in the content that I'm putting forward, please consider liking, subscribing, commenting and sharing so it reaches more people. Likewise, you can currently support my work on Patreon through a single tier where I'll be uploading all my previous and future work going forward. I believe knowledge is power, and truth is the biggest virtue. The exciting thing about this truth is that it seems to be more amazing and positive than any previous philosophy, religion, mythology, fiction, or theory ever imagined. It is my life's goal to get as close as I can to this ultimate truth, and I invite you to join me in this journey. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.